Victory for young environmentalists in a landmark decision involving climate change that could affect court rulings across the nation. 16 young plaintiffs suing the state of Montana, claiming the state violated their right to a healthy environment by promoting the use of fossil fuels. Now, in the first of its kind ruling, the judge agreed, ruling Montana's Environmental Policy Act was unconstitutional because it did not allow agencies to evaluate the effects of greenhouse gas emissions. So here now, former federal prosecutor David Weinstein with more on how this case could influence other judges in similar cases that could be brought forth. So David, first of all, great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Secondly, how historic is this ruling?
Well, Nicole, my pleasure to be back here. A little off my beaten path, but it is an historic ruling. We now have a court who has considered an action filed by the youth of our country that affects their health and, quite frankly, affects all of us because the environment is all of our concern. And this judge gave the state an opportunity to rebut the defense and present a defense to what the plaintiffs were presenting about the emissions and the effect of the law that had been passed, and they didn't do it. And so this certainly can be seen as a step for other judges in other similar states where like acts have been passed to take the same sort of action at the request of people who were affected by the environment.
Well, and I want to talk about that a little bit more too, but I mean, other cases like this have been thrown out in federal court. What makes this one different?
Well, this one is not attacking federal regulations. It's attacking state regulations, and in particular, the Montana Environmental Protection Act that didn't allow the state to take into account the effect of greenhouse gas emissions. And that's what the court found had been improper here and what made the application of that statute unconstitutional. And so it's a state court decision. It's not a federal court trying to decide federal legislation on Environmental Protection Act and things of that nature, but rather a state court interpreting state law. So that's what makes it different.
Well, David, my last question for you, if this ruling stands, because again, it could later end up being overturned, if it does stand, do you think it sets a precedent? Are we likely to see more cases brought forth like this in other states or successful cases on a federal level?
Well, Nicole, I definitely think it's going to set a precedent, and it is going to empower more people to bring cases like this in their own state at the state level. What's important and what remains to be seen is whether or not the judge will issue a stay or an appellate court in Montana will issue a stay based on irreparable harm here. I think the people who are going to be irreparably harmed are the citizens of the state who are affected by the climate change and what's going on here. So all of that is something we're going to have to look for in the future.
Definitely one to follow. I know, as you said, this is a little bit out of the topics we normally discuss. So thank you so much, David Weinstein. We certainly appreciate it, former federal prosecutor. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.